Hey guys, what's going on? So I'm still working on my little tags and whatnot for these journals. Um, yeah, the window tags. Anyway, so I put some flowers in the windows, and this is some old scrapbook paper that I got from Hobby Lobby a long time ago. And I don't know where it was. I pulled out some what I thought was, just craft paper, and it had this design on the back of it. And I don't know if they still sell it or not. I think I've had it for a lot of years, but anyway, so did some smaller ones and some tall ones and that kind of thing. So just basically um have put the flowers into the windows. That's as far as I've gotten. But I pulled out some watercolors and started using them on some of the little like leaf cutouts and got super excited when it came to these butterflies. So this is I don't know what set it was, but I buy die cuts and then I just kind of dump them all in a bin. And so I don't really know what set they come from, but I think this, I think these butterflies might have been separate, but I know there was an entomology set that I think came from, it's a Tim Holtz set with all the insects and stuff, and there was a set of stamps too. So anyway, there's just all these little beetles and moths and butterflies and that kind of thing. And then there's another set that was just different leaf shapes. And my favorite one is this one. It's like a well, what do they call it? I can't ever remember anything when I make videos. And I hope the sound is better on this video than the last one. Um, what is that stuff called? Oh my God, this is terrible. Anyway, it'll come to me here in a second. So I thought it would be fun to just give you guys some ideas about watercolor on these little guys. And as some of you may know, I am completely addicted to my metallic watercolors, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are also. So pulled out some that, well, actually I pulled them all out, but I have a couple sets that I just absolutely love. And this set came from, I got it off of Etsy, and I don't know how to pronounce the name, but I think it's Iulie, something like that. Anyway, it was a set of 60 colors. Was not cheap. I'm gonna tell you, it was not cheap. I mean, I think it was maybe $350 or something like that. But this will last me absolutely a lifetime. So anyway, it was a nice set. And she did actually give me a coupon when I had messaged her. And so I picked up another set. These are glitter. This one is called Bling Bling. And there's 18 colors in there. And then she also, I think I showed these to you guys before, but, um, and then I got her Christmas set. So these are all kind of glittery, not as glittery as this set, um, but different colors too. So I put these into a different pan. I put these in a different pan than what they came in. And then there's these color shift ones. So these are the color shift. So you can see well, kind of hard to see. Kind of hard to see unless you're in the right light. But anyway, so these are the ones that I've been using primarily. There's also I've also got a bunch of my fine tech watercolors. And then this is another set of Iulie watercolors. They're the berry set, and it was 5 colors. So I've kind of got these all grouped together by like the type of paint that they are. Anyway, so that's what I've been using. I love these fairy ones on the insects. They look really cool. Anywho, so let's do one of these butterflies. Let's do one of the craft paper ones. I'll just kind of show you how these come out. They're really neat. So first I'm gonna paint the top layer. So it's a two-piece set. So you've got a bottom and a top. So let's paint the top. Let's go with like, how about a deep kind of blue color. And these paints are so nice because they re-wet like really easy. And and they're really smooth. Not sure how this blue is going to come out on the craft paper. I wanted it a little bit darker. Maybe I can come back and do another layer. Uh, yeah, not too bad. We'll see how it looks when it dries. So then, let's see. Let's try out those fairy colors. They look really cool on craft paper. These are very similar to um, the Kuretake opal colors. Um, but the Kuretake opal have a really strong, like white hue, even on black paper, um, which kind of bugs me. So maybe I'm just doing them too dark or too heavy or something like that. I don't know. But so let's just add a little bit of gold. Oh, and here's what I really like to do. I take a little dropper and just add a couple drops to the colors that I want to use. I like to do this kind of like tie-dye, I guess. Add a little purple. And how about some green? See if I missed anything. And then you can kind of just let them sort of run together. That dry. Yeah, I want to do something else over that because it's really not dark enough. Let's do, let's see. I think this green might work better, like a darker green. Let's see what happens. I did some of these with the some of the black ones last night, and they turned out really cool. So yeah, that's going to coat it a lot better. Sorry if you guys are hearing my fan buzzing or white noise in the background, but I just can't turn it off. It's been really hot here in Spokane over the last 10 days or so. That actually turned out kind of cool because you can still see some of the blue coming through. I'm just going to set this aside and let it dry and pull up a little bit of that excess water. Let that one dry. And then I really wanted to show you guys how I've been doing these. What is this stuff called? It's oh my God. I have such a bad memory. I usually remember things just fine until I turn the camera on. Move that around. Turn this over. And then let's do the leaves first. Bigger brush. So with these journals, I'm just kind of I just want to add like a lot of metallic like accents to them. Um instead of using a lot of actual metal pieces in them, which I probably will do also, just wanted to pull that in with some of the other elements. Um, so that even looks kind of cool just like that, without painting the stem. But oh my gosh, why is this so hard for me to remember what this is called? So then I just do the stem like a darker green. And then kind of run it up into the leaf part just a little bit. And then come back with just some plain water and let it blend in to that main leaf color. Just add a little bit of extra water. There we go. I just think it looks really cool. Um, that's just terrible, but I can't remember what that's called. Uh, okay. I think the butterfly's just about dry. Dries pretty quick. So let's see how it looks. Face. I think it turned out neat. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm just going to paint a whole bunch of these little bugs and all these uh, little leaves. Gotten pretty detailed on some of the beetles. They're pretty fun. Here's a little flower shape. It turned out really cool. There's a little ladybug. Love the little ladybug. So here's the other two. Oh, here's the beetle. And I think this is a cicada. And you don't have to paint things the actual color that they are in nature, but this is fun. So here's two that were black on black. So the base is black and so was the top layer, but I painted the top layer um with a black watercolor, black like um sparkly watercolor. So those turned out really cool, I think. I don't know. I mean, I like the craft paper one too, but since they're sort of like monarch butterflies, I guess maybe that's why the the black paper maybe works better. I don't know. Anyway, so I actually glued these down. I glued the top layer onto the base on these. And then here's a couple more of the things that I know what they are, but I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. So I just did a couple more of those. So fun. And then one thing you can do, which I think I might do on maybe on some tags or something like that, is you can sort of inlay these back into where you cut it out and then glue it down. And I think it looks kind of neat, like, especially if cut that out of, say, like a piece of patterned paper or something, and then like inlay it back into that shape. Like if you cut that shape out of, something like that, rather than just gluing it onto the surface, you could inlay it into the paper. So that's something that I've been kind of playing around with too. That's still wet. Anyway, so I just kind of wanted to show you how that's coming along, using some metallic watercolors and some die cuts. Playing around with paint and um, my little collection of metallic watercolors. So the other thing that I really wanted to try to include in these journals is some just some watercolors, like some watercolor paintings and like little miniature ones. So I've made just some of these little books of out of like scraps of watercolor paper. And so there's a way that you can do. I picked up this book off of, let me grab this book. I want to show you that. Wildflower watercolor. And it's such a cool book. It's very, very easy to follow how she does these flowers, and very clear, just step by step instructions. And I painted most of the flowers that are in here. Some of them I'm a little intimidated by still, but I'm working on them. I haven't done the clover yet, but I really want to. See, she just shows you how to do all of them, and I don't know, and they just turn out really cool. So one of the ones that I was really excited with was the yarrow. And so I've been doing this one and just kind of playing around with it using different colors and different types of paint and that kind of stuff. So what she has you do is use watercolor pencils initially. It's like a gray watercolor pencil, which is cool because it gives you that little like an outline, but like a shadow. It's hard to paint white flowers on white paper, right? Um, so this is a way to do it so that you can actually see the flower. So you just do these little four-petaled flowers, and you just do them like in little clusters. I highly recommend that book. If you're like me and you're, just excited about trying, watercolors, and you're into, flowers and that kind of stuff. That's one of the best things I think for me to paint. Or that's one of the things I get excited about the most, is just painting wildflowers. So anyway, I can't say it's one of the best things to paint, but it's one of the most popular things I think that people paint with watercolor. I'm also really intrigued with getting paint on there. I'm also really intrigued with a lot of the people doing like urban sketching and stuff. Gosh, it just so exciting to me. Anyway, so that's just kind of the basis of it. Just do some little, and then just come back with a water brush and wet the flowers. Don't have to use a water brush. You could use a paintbrush and a pot of water. That's basically how they turn out. And then however you want to do the stems, um, in her book, she does oh, I didn't even tell you the name of the author. Sushma Hegde. Yeah, it's a really fun book. Anyway, I've just been doing my little stems with gel pen. And these are the starry something or something, I don't remember. Anyway, so you just make your little stems from your bundles. Pretty easy. And then I just do these kind of unrealistic little leaves. Maybe have one poking up here. These are just like little flower buds towards the top. Okay. And then at the end, I'm back with, let's see, where are those? Okay, let's just use some gold. So you could do the flowers with any color of watercolor pencil. Doesn't have to be gray. But if you want them to look like white flowers, that's the best color, I think. You could also use like a light blue color um, watercolor pencil. So I'm just adding little tiny dots in the centers of the flowers. You just turn out so cute. Anyway, so I want to paint a bunch of little miniature. I guess they're kind of like yarrow, but they could also be forget-me-nots or, just they don't even have to represent any type of any particular flower. Um, but I've done a bunch of different colors. Like here's one with blue, just fun. This was with a purple watercolor pencil, and then I used watercolor pencil for the stems too. Here's this is like bachelor buttons, and these are all from her book. So, and then this one I did on Yupo paper with watercolor pencil. It's like a transparent Yupo, purple, some yellow ones. And then I started doing them with just little round circles. These are more like flower shapes, but like those ones are just round circles. Like this one are just circles. So kind of fun. This was my very first like Johnny jump ups, and then some little daisies, and I added some metallic sort of highlights. This is the first time I ever painted poppies. And I don't know. I mean, and they're not like, it's not like a masterpiece or anything, but just following the little pictures in her book, I was able to make something that actually looks like poppies, I think. This one was my lavender. I don't like it that much. Don't remember what this one is. These are my first two yarrow. I think this was the very first one I did. And then this one I added a little bit of pink to it. Just some little leaves. And then I started playing around and doing some same type of idea, but just on black watercolor paper. And then this one, I don't remember what I did there. But yeah, just fun. Just fun little miniature paintings, you know? And I mean, I could cut them up, especially like these bigger ones. I could cut these up and add them into my little window tags, or just make them into little tags all by themselves. So I'm just getting a little bit more confident with the watercolors, and like I'm not trying to be Picasso or anything, or you know what I mean, but I'm just getting more comfortable using the materials. Um, and why can't I remember what this is called? Eucalyptus. I knew I would remember. Anyway, I'm just getting more comfortable with using my supplies. Let me see, what else have I been doing? So I took a bunch of um these are the little book plates that I cut out with the die cuts. And so it comes with two pieces. And so I just painted them with different colors of metallic paints. And yeah, so those were really fun. So I'll match them up in different ways so that I get a little bit of contrast. And then I don't know, like I'm thinking maybe I'll just write with like a black marker or something, and write, like figure 1-729-3 or something. You know what I mean? Just make up some random little specimen numbers. I did this little tab with you know, the little pressed flower that was, put through the laminator. And then I had to paint the background because this was some of that patterned craft paper. I just had to paint the back of it so that you wouldn't see that black dot behind it. Anyway, so I'll make some more of these maybe. Because I have a bunch of these little tiny flowers that I laminated. So I'd like to use some of those in my journals. And then, of course, these are going to go on the pages in the journals. Yeah, and I'm working on doing these little guys, these little bulldog clips. These little bulldog clip die cuts. These are for the window tags. So I might have to cut out some more of those. And then also just wanted to show you guys what I've been doing. I thought it would be fun to just paint some you know, hole protector things. Reinforcements. Hole reinforcers. I picked up a whole bunch of these off of Amazon. They were like $1.75 a pack or something. And I like the paper ones. I don't like the plastic ones. I like the ones that are made out of paper because you can do stuff like this with them. And it's also kind of fun to stamp these. Like if you have background stamps. This one has like text. I don't think I have any left that were anything else. That's some kind of stamp. I don't remember what it was. But anyway, so yeah, if you want to do some decorating on some hole reinforcers, they're super cheap. And they're fun to do. These are just inked with like vintage photo or something, and then I stamped them with black ink, and then these are just painted with metallic watercolors. So those will be fun to use on some tags. I'll probably paint a few more sheets, different colors. Yeah, so that's what I'm up to. And yeah. So if anybody has any questions or you're curious about any of the materials that I've used, leave a comment. I might do another video or two before before I get really into constructing the journals. I don't know. Here's another thing that that I did, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna. I only did one, so I'm not really sure if I'm gonna continue making these, but I thought these turned out kind of cool. Just used a die cut or like a die to cut a window out, put the die inside the envelope, cut it out, and then I cut out another one of the same shape and then just glued that down to sandwich the laminated specimen onto the envelope. So anyway, I don't know. This I was just playing around with, so we'll see. We'll see if I wind up doing any more of these, but I might. I think it looks kind of cool. So anyway, okay, that's it for now. All right, guys. Love you. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.